by Faith Zoom. We are super delighted. We are elated that you have joined us yet once again. My name is Ryan Jackson. I'm the director of Christian education at Mount Zion Baptist Church, and my good buddy Reverend Mo Brooks is the
What's going
youth,
on?
the family director at Mount Zion Baptist Church, and it's our goal and endeavor through these series of interviews to encourage you, to hopefully for you to be able to glean some principles that you can apply to your life to get God results. And we're super excited about our guest today. But before we move forward, Reverend Mo, man, what's going on?
Not much, man. Just enjoying the beautiful day, enjoying the weather before the snow comes. So just soaking up the sun, man. And, just a great day, man. Feel productive, man. Working from home and stuff. Feel real productive. Getting stuff done, bro.
Yeah, that's what's up.
And, man, early
Yvonne,
on. Go ahead. Go ahead. My bad.
No, Yvonne, good afternoon. Sharon Coulter, good afternoon. If you could be so kind, I see we have 10 people that's currently live. If you could hit that share button, because it's our goal to cover the entire Facebook community with positive messages, with the Word of God. So if you could hit that share button right now, that would be extremely appreciated. C. Mac, good afternoon, family. Welcome, welcome. Go ahead, Moby.
Listen, please share this broadcast. Also, okay, just to let everybody know, next Thursday, and I say this again towards the end, next Thursday at 6 p.m., we are having a community back to school giveaway. It's a drive-through, y'all. So drive through, come through, and we're gonna be giving out bags and a whole bunch of goodies. So bring your families, bring your kids. Okay, we want to see your kids. We want to see your grandkids. We want to wave hi. All right, we want to smile. Of course, we be practicing social distancing and all COVID-19 safety precautions. So wearing masks and the whole nine. So please, we want to see you next Thursday at 6 p.m. All right, let us know if you got any questions about that. Share it. Share our content on our page. But we want to see you next Thursday, you and your family. It's going to be fun. All right. But that's it, Jackson. You know what I'm saying? I'm good in the hood, just chilling. Yeah.
Hey, man, I got it right or wrong. That's early, man.
Oh
Right
my.
or wrong.
You want to do it right now?
Meatloaf.
You going to do it right now?
Hey, before Sheletha get home,
Let's do it. Right or wrong, y'all. Go ahead and share it.
meatloaf. Is it right or wrong to put ketchup on it? We'll talk later. We'll pick it up at the end. Sheletha,
What's up?
what's going
Hey.
on?
How y'all doing?
We,
Hold on, we gotta adjust.
Oh, we doing wonderful. What about yourself?
I'm doing good.
All right.
Sheletha,
Everything is
show us,
everything over here.
show us the shirt. It says God is.
Dope.
Oh, God is dope. That's what's
Yep.
up.
Yep,
Listen,
yep, yep.
everyone, we're glad that our guest has arrived, Trustee Sheletha Manuel.
Yes.
She has such a rich history being a part of Mount Zion, her entire family. The thing that we really love about Sheletha is her sense of humor, her commitment to God, to ministry, and we are delighted to have her on. So, Trustee Sheletha Manuel, how are you doing today?
Everything is just awesome. I'm happy to be here. I am just excited to talk to you. I was telling my friends, I'm like, we might clown, because even when there is no cameras, when there are no cameras, y'all just keep me laughing. Mo,
Okay,
have
listen,
you
I
had
got
enough
this.
sleep today?
Unfortunately, I have had a great night's sleep. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm good. I won't be too loopy.
Okay, you get a little zany when you sleepy though.
Yeah, I do.
So I have this quick story to share about Sheletha. This
Oh
was my
no,
the first time we met. Okay, first time we met. What was this? 8 years ago? 7 years ago?
about
Okay. 7 or 8 years ago,
If
we're at the
I
church. Huh?
if I think if you telling the story that I'm thinking of,
Okay, all right. I think we're talking about the same thing, or we're thinking about the same thing. So about 7 or 8 years ago, I'm at the church with Pastor Moore. I believe it's on a weekend. I'm thinking it was probably like a Saturday morning. And Pastor Morris Jackson, like, let's go to the car dealership. I'm like, all right. I ain't ask no questions. Go to the car dealership. There is Sheletha May. I never met her before. Like, and obviously Pastor Moore, he introduced us. And then Sheletha was like, like, how old are you? Like, you pretty much insinuated that I looked like a teenage boy. You know what I'm saying? so, so that was my first interaction to Sheletha, and I'm like, wow, like, I don't really know her like that, but she got jokes and she's kind of funny. So I think that kind of describes our first interaction together.
no, yeah, I do remember that was I had just come back home from North Carolina. I had moved to North Carolina, and there was a women's brunch or women's day thing going on that weekend. And I had just gotten in a car accident at my job with my car because I was an outside salesperson. And my car wasn't working right like I wanted to. And I was telling Pastor Moore that. I was like, man, I got to go get a new car real quick. You want to come with me? And so when he made the introductions, I was like, yeah, I've seen you because I've been coming back home from North Carolina and come to church, of course. And I would see you like praying. You were like a deacon at that time. And so you were like praying. I'm like, who's this 12-year-old? They got the junior deacons working. Junior deacons working. I didn't know they actually did work. But who's this 12-year-old?
I was like, she's funny. She's cool people. So Sheletha,
Yes.
how long have you been a member of Mount Zion?
I have. It's kind of fuzzy.
Yeah.
But there are. I remember when I first got to Mount Zion. I'm just gonna say over 30 years. It's been probably over 30 some odd years that I have been there, except that time, that 7 year span when I was in North Carolina.
Wow. Can you share with us really your rich family history? Can you talk about your mom and your dad?
Before we get to that,
Go ahead.
I did not know. Now, listen, I didn't know Dr. Sheila was your sister. Is she your sister?
Yes.
I did not know that. Why, Sheila? Why don't I know that? I should know that. I'm sorry.
People keep saying we look alike, but yeah. My family, I am the youngest of three. Sheila is my oldest sister, and she's down in Greensboro, North Carolina. And I have another sister that's here in Grand Rapids, Sheree Manuel, and she, like I said, she's in Grand Rapids. And those two, I come from an old womb. I come from an old womb. My mother was older when she had me, and so those two are close together. Those are like 4 years apart, but like between me and Sheila, there's a 14-year span. There's a 14, yeah, there's 14 years between the two of us. So just she's always been the older sister. You see one, you see the other typically, but now it's like a whole new generation with my Shug and Honey, and her kids are having kids, and
Yeah.
it's just a whole new generation now. So yeah, since 30 years, so there's Sheila, Sheree, and Sheletha, and my mom, Sadie Manuel, she was a deaconess at Mount Zion, a mother and a deaconess at Mount Zion. My father was Deacon Henry Manuel, otherwise known as the Praying Man. He was a deacon at Mount Zion, and I do remember the first time driving up, because we would, okay, this is the funny. Like I said, I come from an old womb, so my parents were older. You know,
Yeah.
my friends, they talk about their grandparents, which were the same age as my parents, and it was just weird like that. But
I
we,
wanna, Sheletha, I just need to interject a comment from your sister. Sheila said people thought that I secretly had a baby because I carried Sheletha with me everywhere when she was little. Okay, go ahead. I thought it'd be nice to interject that comment.
my Mount Zion wasn't the first church that I was raised up in. I was born in Benton Harbor, or St. Joe. We went to church in Benton Harbor. That's where um, Daddy pretty much got that name, the Praying Man. We went to St. Mark Baptist Church, and that's where I was christened and everything. But prior to coming to Mount Zion, we were at a church in Decatur. It was a Baptist church, First Baptist Church in Decatur, and we were there for a few years. But the crazy thing, my parents were the youngest people there, and they were the youngest people in that congregation that was there. So coming from First Baptist Church into Kalamazoo, I just remember riding the back of my daddy's Chrysler Fifth Avenue and just rolling up on this beautiful edifice. And I was just like, wow, this is the thing that this is new. And it looked totally different than what it did years ago. Of course, we rolling into the lot that is now the discipleship lot, but it was just dirt. It was just dirt and rocks over there at that point. And just coming in, introducing myself to my Sunday school class, because we were there for Sunday school, of course. And Sister Wilkerson. Sister Wilkerson was my first teacher in Christian education. And that was junior girls number one. And that's where I met pretty much all my friends, everybody, everybody. And just from there, then you had the ushers and just being anywhere where my dad was, or anywhere, any meeting that my mom was. It was all just very, very traditional. So that was over 30 years ago. Whatever junior, I don't know if junior girls number one started at 10 years old, but I do know there was a chance, like 2 years after joining, that's where I got baptized. And my baptism at Mount Zion was very special to me. I remember it like yesterday. Of course, the baptism pool being exactly where it is now. My daddy wasn't in the pool with me, but he was outside. And before Reverend Gilliard dunked me, you know how y'all do, slap him down. My
Yeah.
dad prayed over me. So, and that's just where it began. Ministry started then.
How has your parents impacted you?
Oh, my parents impacted me greatly. I mean, they're my first teachers. They were my first teachers when it came to worship, how to worship. They were my first teachers, especially my dad teaching me how to pray. And I'm very, very thankful for that foundation. They were my teachers when it came to marriage. I can truly say that I seen manifested in this house, what those vows look like. Those vows till death do us part. I know what that means. I seen it done. They modeled that terrifically for me. So I mean, even having a united front, and it was just awesome to see, especially as my father got sicker and my mom stepping up to take care of him. And then that was really the driving force that had me come back to Kalamazoo, or come back to Papa, actually, to take care of my mother after my father had passed away. Like I said, they were my model for marriage and what a marriage is supposed to look like. So
Yeah.
it was just awesome to see them until the end.
Now, did you get whoopings growing up?
Oh yeah, my parents, my parents were the quintessential black parents. Whoopings was, I mean, I didn't get a lot of whoopings. I wasn't,
We want to know a story when you got a whooping.
Yeah.
whoopings. See, I'm a daddy's girl.
Yeah.
Let me just say, I'm a daddy's girl. And so my father didn't whoop me too much. He had a whole process because when he whooped me, it hurt my heart. Like, oh, like, oh my god. And and there was always a process. Like I said, the first thing, you have to go to your room. You got to think about what you did, and then it was really crazy. Because he would come in and you would get your talking to. That's what we called it, our talking to. And that it seemed like that last forever because you had to understand what you did, why it was against the family rule. This is the standard, this is the boundary of this family, and how you were, outside of that. And now I got to get you back in line. So, as a young person, after you get that talking to, you are, and you hug, kiss, you think it's all going to be all good, but it's not. So, the most memorable whooping was, this was like when GNC first came out, right?
Okay.
General nutrition and everything. And so mom took us, and I was able to get some vitamins, right? I got my own special vitamins. They were like a 90-day supply or whatever. And but they tasted like Starburst. They tasted so good. Oh my god, they tasted so good. And when I was little, I was in gymnastics because I'm shorter than the average bear, so I would climb over everything. And so, they did their due diligence, and they would put the medicine up high. But I knew how to get up on that counter. I knew how to stand up on that counter. And after a couple of tries, I could get that bottle open because they taste like Starburst.
Yeah.
They were so, so good. I just remembered Starburst, right?
Yeah.
So I took, it's a 90-day supply, and here we are at 45 days, and they're almost gone.
You smashed them?
Hey.
Smash those vitamins like 2 or 3 times a day. You're only supposed to get one. So
Sheletha, did you at any given time did you feel like awkward or you was good? Like
I was always a ball of energy. So if that was, I don't know what the vitamins were supposed to do. I was supposed to do it. I felt fine. So going to gymnastics or whatever, going to ballet, or the little things that I did, I was just boom, 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 just doing it. And so, like I said, day 45, they're almost gone, and because I would probably take them like 3 times a day. I don't know, but I was just eating them. And so my mom kind of found out. She was like tripping a little, and then she told daddy about it. So to go to your room, just go to your room. So now I'm crying because I know what's about to go down. So just the anticipation of you, like, I'm about to get it, I'm about to die. It takes my sister. It takes my sister to tell the other side of the story. Because, and this was probably like 5 years ago, she told me they had to call poison control. They had to call.
No.
Her and my mom was calling poison control, and trying to get, how am I going to, what's going to happen to me because I've taken too many vitamins. And then daddy come in. It's the whole process. I'm seeing it go down. Another thing, when I did get whoopings, it was like I was a runner. So I'm like, pew, all over the house. So you had to catch you.
You run? Oh, you a brave soul.
You ain't going down without a fight. So it's just like, daddy gave me that whooping, and it, like I said, it probably wasn't long. It just seemed like forever to me. And the fact that my daddy was whooping me, it just tore me. I can't really, I'm supposed to take medicine now, but now I'm like, Because
Oh, oh, you impacted by it.
It was traumatic for you. I see.
like I know I'm supposed to take this, but oh my.
That's funny. Oh,
So I mean, that's the kind of impact. I only take the medicine that I'm supposed to now.
yeah. Amen. Because maybe
Sheletha, can you speak? Go ahead.
I was
Oh,
just gonna say before Jackson go, I love whooping stories. Maybe because I received a whole bunch of them, but I just love to hear other people whooping stories. So go ahead, Jackson. I'm there.
Man, I would run out the house. We have stairs. It's only about 6 stairs. I would run up and down the stairs, and sometimes I would fall. They would catch me, pull me back. It was, I mean, but I mean, it made me a better person.
Amen to that.
Some people who say, oh, they grow up to be aggressive, and perhaps I could be, but man,
Please.
it's so necessary.
I wouldn't be here without no whoopings. I thank God for every whooping.
Exactly.
I needed them.
Exactly.
Sheletha, so I think you have a very interesting perspective because obviously, essentially, I mean, you've been at Mount Zion on and off pretty much your entire life, but growing up, you had the opportunity to see your parents in leadership and see what they had to deal with and see how they actually did ministry. Now you're on the other side. You're a fulfillment hour teacher. You're a trustee. Can you speak to maybe just like leadership lessons of like, oh, now I see what mom was dealing with earlier on. I see what dad was dealing with earlier on, and like now I'm kind of dealing with this. Can you kind of speak to that interesting dynamic?
Well, the dynamic, what I saw my father do, like I said, it was all about prayer. And it was, he would go to meetings and come back. And like the biggest ministry, and I've said this before, the biggest ministry that I've seen is their ministry of marriage. There are times where, my mom was a spitfire. We call it charter traits that 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 come up, and she would always say, well, I'm gonna tell God about it. Any situation, that was her phrase. I'm gonna tell God about it. And with my father, with the family traditionally growing up, and as he being the head of household, that's the only time I saw my dad shook. Like if they were to argue or something, and she would just stop it and say, I'm gonna tell God about it, only because he understood that he is responsible for her too, and to go in front of God on her behalf as an intercessor and everything. He knew he was responsible for her. So if there was any time I saw my dad being shook, is when she would say, I'm gonna tell God about it. And for some reason, not for some reason, it was because of God, everything fell into place. Um, or, if something happened, I didn't get to see it. I just heard that God was
Yeah.
in control of this family, God was in control of, everything that they were coming through. So their ministry of marriage is what I've seen the most. Um, Watching them inside the church, and um, watching them inside the church and how people interacted with them, that was always cool. Um, it was all about obedience too. So whatever happened, it was going to happen. And I see that a lot as well. There's a lot of changes. There's a lot of things that happen, behind the veil, behind the curtain, like the curtain of eyes, that I see now. And it's just it's a matter of, there's a matter of discretion. There's a matter of, being in the room when it happens. Shout out to Hamilton. I've been watching that this week. Where you see God manifest, and what you don't know, you ask.
That's good.
Amen.
And I think it's fitting too because you talked about your parents being prayer warriors, and you're actually teaching the prayer warrior class. So I think that's just a great dynamic. Reverend Mo, I saw you trying to hop in there.
No, I wasn't gonna say anything, but and you praying during altar call prayer service and stuff. I mean, during worship.
That that was because of you.
No, that was the Lord. All right, amen. Isn't that
You know,
interesting? And you was saying Ryan was a junior deacon up there praying. That all comes
Hey,
back around.
hey,
it all comes back around.
it comes
Exactly.
back full circle.
So
But yeah, that's what I see.
now that's what's up. Is there any more reflections that you just kind of want to talk about? Anything on your heart? You know what I'm saying? Especially as it relates to, we got a lot of people. There's a lot of stress, anxiety. You know, we're living in pandemic times. This COVID-19. You got any words of encouragement, or just anything you want to say to people, just to encourage them?
I would just go back to, what we've been learning in Bible class and what we've been learning in Bible class and prayer service. Of having that constant communication with God, because I see people losing their mind, and it's just a wonderment how I can stay calm. Being in the house, you're being quarantined, you have to be careful. People are dying left and right. Services are not looking the same. We don't know when it's gonna happen. So, in the words of my mom, I gotta tell God about it. So everything we've been learning about Habakkuk, and he's angry, he's upset, and things like that. That is a great reflection of telling God about it. Even when you're hurt, when you're sad, when you're happy, whatever, tell God about it. And that peace that surpasses all understanding, that guards your heart and mind, that is true. That is absolutely true. So I just say, try God, obey God, and just, and listen and engage to the sermons that Pastor Moore and Reverend Chris are like preaching their face off, because there's a solution in there for you if you engage, if you listen and apply. So in that communication and prayer, because I'm in the house by myself. Who else do I have to talk to? But God. But
Yeah,
God, like I said, after my parents had passed away, they left me with the house, and it's just like my father's prayers are saturated in these walls. Like, if I'm hurt, and I have been hurt,
yeah,
distress, pain in my body, I know that, calling out to God, and even still having my father as intercessor, even though he's not here, is still prevalent in my life.
Wow,
I remember my dad's prayers,
wow.
some of the things that he said, and it's just amazing. And when we do get back into the church, get connected. I mean, Reverend Mo, you don't know how much your grandmother impacted me.
Yeah.
Just her presence, and some of the church lessons that she taught me. Um, she would tell me, well, if you gonna be in the front row, you might as well be cute.
And that's her. That's her all day.
You might as well,
Yeah.
because she will always sit on the left end in the front up there with the mother. So
Hmm.
just some of the things with the connection and the ministry of the church. I mean, that helped me so much, being the woman that I am and being involved in ministry. And now that, being in that leadership and going back to, the junior ushers, or going back to other teachers that have been there a long time, they know me not just because of my parents and what they have done, and what I've been, what I'm trying to do, and what I'm trying to do. It's a matter of, I know you come from good stock,
Yeah.
so they're more apt to listen.
Yeah. Hey man, there's a couple things. First, Sheila said that my grandma and your mom, they were besties. Amen. That. See, that's why I'm bothered. I'm just like, why didn't I know this? And that's why we probably
Oh,
vibe out. You know what I'm saying? It's probably just in the blood, you know. But listen,
It is in the blood.
Sheletha, for real though,
Yes.
the Manuel family, whether it's you, the whole family do something, y'all, I'm telling y'all think I'm playing. You sitting on books. All right, tell God about it. That's a book. Yes.
That's a
And-
book
and-
title.
Yes, and you write out, you remember your father prayers and you integrate them together. You give people assignments. I got the whole process for you. That's a book, Manuel family. I'm serious. Y'all think I'm joking though. I'm dead serious. Y'all see why y'all think I'm playing?
Well, because I'm a reader. I am a reader to my heart. I'm not so much of a writer. I know people say, you know, reading makes great writers, but I'm a reader. That's where my creativity comes from. So I read like Squeeze and 180, and I read those things, and you know, it comes out in conversation. So
Yeah.
so that's how that is. But you know, with my dad, you know, and remembering his prayers is kind of easy because back in the day, this was before we had a Claude. You know, his prayers was on tape, and neither one of you were there. But when my father passed away and we had his funeral at Mount Zion, he prayed himself out. It was his prayers that were praying before, you know, as people were being seated. It was his prayers that were being looped and looped over and over again. So he prayed himself even out of this world.
Wow.
And we still have it on tape. I need to make it digital so that it will never go away because right now it's on a CD.
Yeah.
I would love to get it like downloaded digitally. When there are times when I need to hear his voice, I got it.
Yeah. Amen to that. That's what's up. Your sister said.
Sheletha,
Go ahead, Jackson.
your sister said she's been telling you that book thing for decades, so it's confirmation.
Man,
Holy God.
she's the doctor, and she's the one that's the doctor and have published work. So I mean, it could be a family thing. She's right.
Amen.
They always try to make me do stuff. They be like, yeah, you know what? It will be a good idea, and try to make it seem as if it's my idea. I know this is not my idea.
That's the price. That's the price of being the youngest.
They want to make it seem like it's my idea, and like I used to be gullible about it, be like, and that,
Yep.
and now I got a commitment for 8 months.
Amen. Listen, I think Jackson has a right or wrong. Go ahead, Jackson. Let's do the right or wrong. Then I got one more thing.
It's very simple. Okay, we share a personal story from our lives, and we give you the opportunity to be able to chime in and say whether or not it's right or wrong. For whatever reason, my wife and I, we're on different sides of the fence, but when I eat my meatloaf, I need to add ketchup on it. Am I right or am I wrong?
Ketchup on meatloaf? Meatloaf ain't nothing but a hamburger.
Exactly. Thank you, Sheletha.
I mean,
I'm right then.
That's normal.
No.
But for me personally, I would say it's wrong for me personally. I do barbecue sauce.
Right. And I won't say it's totally wrong, but I have this, when I make meatloaf, there's like this glaze that has ketchup in it, but it's mostly like brown sugar. So with that brown sugar and ketchup glaze on top of the meatloaf, it'd be like, like that.
So I'm
But
right
it's
then.
not wrong. It's not wrong because it ain't nothing but a hamburger. But
It's wrong for me. But it's not wrong in general. But it's not wrong in general.
Mo, you wrong in general. You don't put barbecue sauce on meatloaf.
I don't even eat meatloaf. I don't even eat meatloaf like that. But if I do, I put barbecue sauce on it.
You put barbecue sauce on chicken.
Sister Sharon said she put hot sauce on it, but to each his own.
Sharon, now you really wrong, Sharon. You really wrong. Hot sauce on the meatloaf? Are you kidding me?
I
You
actually
put hot sauce on everything.
literally.
Yeah, but you know it's.
I think your wife tuning in, Stephanie. Tell him he wrong, Stephanie. Tell him he wrong.
But that's good. That's good. If
What-
you
what-
like it, I
What
love
about
it.
gravy?
Okay, so Sheila, you are absolutely right. So my
Stephanie, thank
wife,
you.
Sheila, you're right. My wife says gravy works on the meatloaf. So I mean, but I guess it just don't work for me that much.
Isn't it a general rule if your wife says you're wrong that you are wrong? Isn't that a marriage law?
It pretty much it is. It is. So really,
So does
technically,
she have to make? Wait, you're wrong if she has to make you a separate meatloaf.
Mm.
no separate, no separate.
Oh, okay. Because
I
you
just
gonna
asked, I just asked that consideration be placed, in making the meatloaf.
Oh, so
That's
don't put
all I'm.
ketchup on the whole thing?
So she put gravy, like Sheila was just mentioning. She
yeah,
puts
yeah.
gravy on hers, and I'm saying that's cool. But what about layering it with ketchup?
Ew, that's doing too much.
Ketchup and
Is
gravy?
You have
it?
gravy
Yeah,
and ketchup.
yeah.
See, I knew we was gonna be clowning on this Zoom because y'all.
Sheletha, I'm
Mostly
with you,
salt.
Sheletha.
I could do both, but I'm just saying it got to be ketchup on it though.
Oh, Stephanie, poor thing. Poor thing.
Ah. Listen, we got two more things before we go. The first thing is we talked about this at the beginning, our community back to school giveaway. Listen, it's a drive-through, so drive-through, come through, and we're gonna be passing out bags with back to school supplies in it. We have some giveaways as well. It starts at 6 p.m. next Thursday, August 27th at 6 p.m. So listen, we want to see the kids, the grandkids, bring them in the car. We want to wave. We'll be wearing masks. We'll be socially distant, but we want to say hi. We haven't seen them in what? About 5 months. You know what I'm saying? So we really want to see our youth and the community youth. So please come through. Next Thursday at 6 p.m. drive through is going to be a lot of fun. You will be engaged as you are in line, right? So we won't have your two dry. It's going to be a lot of fun. So come through. And lastly, Sheletha, Trustee Manuel, we just want to say we love you and we appreciate who you are. We appreciate everything you do for the ministry. I know you've been a great blessing to me and helping me out think through some stuff. And, we just appreciate the value you add to our ministry. So for the bottom of our hearts, we want to say thank you. We love you. And we celebrate you, for you are awesome. And it's just exciting to see you carrying on the family legacy of faith. I love it. I appreciate that. That's one thing that's near to my heart. I'm serious about that, about my grandparents' legacy. I'm like, I'll cut you over it, right? So that's like my motivation to really live right, to do right, to help people. It roots from that family root in that tree. So I appreciate that, and it's sweet.
Absolutely. We've been bending.
Amen.
Train up a child the way that they should go. So I can say that I'm the result of that. I've been bent towards. I left. No, I'm not gonna sit up here and act like, oh, she was so great and wonderful, or that I was easy to raise. But yeah, I had to come back to it. I had my rebellious side, and rebellious thoughts and things like that. But you got to come back to what your foundation is, and especially in the world that we live now.
Amen. Most of us do. Shoot, I wrote a book about it. A couple of them.
So a couple of them. I can write a pamphlet or a paragraph.
And Yvonne, you live in Albion. If you want to drive through with the kiddos. All right, it's a little drive, but just drive through if you want to. It's up to you now, and get there early. Make sure stuff don't run out. All right, it's 6 o'clock until supplies end. So I would hate for you to drive from Albion and get there. So get there a little early.
Get your supplies.
Yeah. All right, Jackson, man.
Hey, listen. Before we wrap up, just give Sheletha, give her some hearts, give us some likes, give us some farewell comments, and we appreciate all of you for taking time out of your busy schedule, out of your day, to view this interview. We pray that it was a tremendous blessing to you. And listen, we're not done. We're not finished. Next Tuesday and Thursday, we have some awesome guests lined up. Next Tuesday, we have Brother Sheldon Turner. He is actually the director of our music. So he will be on at 5:30 p.m. And then next Thursday, we'll have on Brother Corey Dunnigan. He is over all of our social media at Mount Zion Baptist Church. So you do not want to miss it.
Amen.
Amen.
Awesome. Well, until next time, you guys,
All right.
we'll see you later. Dang, I forgot the music again, y'all. All right. Yeah.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I got some. Hold on.
Don't get us in trouble. We gotta have.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Look, I don't want to be in that trustee meeting.
Yeah. What you got, Jackson?
I'm working on it. I'm working on
It take
it.
you too long. No. Let's see. You ready? I'm ready to go.
I'm ready to go too.
All right.
All right.
Put it by the speaker. Put it by the speaker.
Lift hands. Everybody lift holy hands.
Sheletha, can you hear anything?
Not at all. Not at all.
Hey, dude.
But you know, he's here.
We out of here, man. We see y'all next week. See you Sunday. Sunday. Join us Sunday. 8 a.m., 9:45, and 11 a.m.
Love y'all.
Love you. Peace.
Bye.